Hello. I am working on 3 projects right now. So let me see if I can show this. This one here is called Dr. David Bohm. It's not finished yet. This one is called Go Solar. And the one behind it is a beautiful one too. And this one is called Dr. David Schoenberg. But they are not finished yet. So anyway, I just wanted to make a quick video vlog. I had some things that I wanted to say today, some ideas. I hope this is not okay. Wrinkles. So, okay, anyway. I wanted to talk about infatuation. I see almost all humans have this infliction. It's a psychological illness. Infatuation is sickness. People need to know that. It has nothing to do with romance. It has nothing to do with sex even. See, this is something that can be very easily misunderstood. Including myself. I'm not in any way, shape, or form above this, or at least I haven't been above this. So I'm getting closer now to enlightenment, as you I said that on purpose just to be funny, because I don't believe in enlightenment at all, but I have become a whole lot more enlightened than I was just 6 years ago. My gosh. 6 years ago I had a crush on James Hetfield. I've talked about this in many of my videos. And I thought, I was already smart enough to know that this is not romance or like romantic love. It absolutely has nothing to do with love at all. It has nothing to do with true love. I thought it could have been a romantic love, but it's not even that. So I was aware of that, but I kidded myself and I thought this has somehow to do with sexuality or sensuality. Oh boy, was I far from the truth, because it has absolutely nothing to do with any of these things. And any of these things don't necessarily have anything to do with one another. Too, people need to become aware of that. Those are all different mental states. Sometimes they converge, and those people are very lucky when that happens. But in most cases, most humans are fragmented, and it's probably not going to happen. So when I woke up today, I realized that I need to make a video about this, explaining this to people, because a lot of people, particularly when they're young, teenagers, but in particular, they fall for movie stars, which I have also. Actually, I had a huge crush on Robin Williams when I was 17 or something. He was still in his prime at that time. And what I really loved about him was that he was a clown, but I could feel that there was someone sensitive behind that. Clowns are usually sensitive, and they cry sometimes because they're sensitive, because they care, and I could feel it, that he's highly intelligent and caring, and that he was also loving himself at that time, and he was feeling sexy, and it came across, and so it attracted me to him. And I also thought that he would not be a pushy person, in bed. He wouldn't be aggressive or demanding or something. That made me like him a whole lot. I felt very attracted to him. So, but that was not one of my really terrible crushes. That was actually more in the real direction. So, the terrible crushes, they usually happened to me with psychopathic, sociopathic celebrity men. And it is very strange, often like a singer in a band, heavy metal band, or punk band. And happened a lot. And then James Hetfield, of course, which is like, he's like the king of the psychopath, the king of the singers in a band. It's like, it's the typical thing. It's so today I know better. I know not to look there anymore at all. I mean, it's a complete waste of your life to do it. And not just because there's no chance. Also, he would never go for dark. He has his choice. Will always have his choice until the day he dies. So there will always be Mrs. James Hetfield t-shirts standing in line. So, but it's like, besides that, even if he was a regular person, I'm not looking in that direction at all anymore. And I am so glad, and that's why I said, man, I am so much more enlightened than I used to be just 6 years ago. And it took me half a year to get over this horrible thing, and I had to pay a session and phone session. I could have bought a large volume industrial washing machine for that, and it really bothers me, that I had fallen like that psychologically. It really, really bothers me. But I'm learning from this, and I'm becoming more wise, and I'm becoming more more in charge of my life, and more knowledgeable, and more sharp focused on all of these things, and all of these interactions, and all of these causalities that are going on within myself, and of course within other people, because many of us are struggling with the same things, particularly women with very high estrogen and gestrogen and other female reproductive hormones that are playing a huge role. For us, it's particularly difficult to deal with these kind of things because the traps just keep coming. So, but it's a challenge, but it is an important learning experience. I was a man in my past life, so obviously this soul that I am had to maybe chose this, or maybe just had to experience it now from this perspective, which is good. It's important. We experience things from all kinds of perspectives, including the dog perspective, or the giraffe perspective, horse or rhino. You're gonna be all of these things, believe it or not. You're probably not gonna believe it, but it's still gonna happen. This is so funny. I'm in a clownish mood today. I'm also happy that Lisa and I are gonna talk in a few minutes, and this is cool, and we're gonna record it, so I'm gonna be putting it on my channel. But I needed to say this real quickly. Infatuation, if you have a crush on a celebrity, whether you are a girl who has a crush on a guy celebrity, Justin Bieber or something like this, how many are out there? or a guy who has a crush on Beyonce. So you be aware that this is not a romantic type of, this is a mental illness. Okay, be very aware of this. And you have been sold that mental illness by the corporations, and they are cashing in on your terrible state of suffering. Believe it or not, it is the truth. So that's why I'm saying, people, break free from all of this. You can. Why waste your time? Why waste your precious life and your precious body on suffering over something like this? Why not enjoy your life? And why not settle for someone less glam? Yeah, it could happen, if you settle for someone less glam, you could experience happiness. You need to get real. If you weigh 500 pounds, chances are not very high that you're going to be dating someone like Beyonce. Okay, it's the truth. You need to get real about this. If you want to lose the weight, go vegan, baby. Do it. Go vegan right now. Don't ever eat animal products anymore. Don't eat suffering anymore. If you don't want to suffer, don't eat it. Don't eat this stuff anymore. Don't eat suffering, because the stuff is made out of suffering. Okay, it's not good for your entire energetic field. That is the truth. And that also brings me to more and more wisdom, just the way I eat. It opens up more and more and more perception channels in my entire existence. It is amazing. It really is amazing what veganism does for you. I take B vitamins, I take B12 supplements, so this is important to do. But other than that, I don't put animal products into my system. And I highly recommend it to other people. I am overweight. I weigh 230 pounds. I'm 5'9". I'm pretty tall, but still overweight. But at least I'm not obese, and I like to be chubby. I know it's not super healthy, but I feel sexy. Yes, it's true, sorry to say this. I feel sexy like this, and that is how I feel good, and that's how I like it. And it feels cozy, it feels comfortable, it feels more leaned back, it feels relaxed, it feels very sensual. And this is wonderful. So I recommend to other people to be more relaxed about your weight. But veganism really get you balanced out, get your body balanced out for sure. And I eat as much as I want to. I mean, sometimes I could eat like binge eating for days. I could do it, but then I don't do it because I know that's not going to get me anywhere. So, but I don't really live with restriction where I feel like, oh, now I just ate half of what I wanted to eat. No, I don't live like this. I eat the full meal, and I don't waste food. I don't throw any food away. I hate that when people throw food away, when there are starving animals and children out there in the world. So I try to live my life with a frugal and with zero carbon footprint, as zero as it gets, of course. So yeah, I'll talk about this another time. We recycle, we compost, we do all of this, and we waste very, very little electricity, and this is the way to live, and it is wonderful and feels good. It's economic, it saves you a lot of money. And I have some greens growing there and tomatoes, and we want to get this started more and more and more. I recommend John Kohler, Grow Your Own Greens. He has fantastic videos about self-growing and gardening and all of this holistic without any toxins. So it's really cool. It's really fantastic. There are so many things to do in life. We don't have to be sitting on our couch and feeling sorry for ourselves and in self-pity, and in this, and seeing oneself at place A when you want to be at place Z, and that causes tremendous inner conflict and depression and horrible suffering. So that's not a good idea. So if you want to find a reproductive partner, first of all, don't reproduce. Not a good idea. We have too many humans already. And don't do dog breeding like this overly. Don't do it, because where they're all going to go and they're going to suffer and so on. We have so many already in the shelters. Adopt, I say, from a shelter. Adopt an animal. So anyway, if you want to date, you now need to know where you are at this moment, and you need to straighten up your situation. You need to, and the first thing to do is clean up your entire house. This is not just good for you and everything, it is also an exercise to clean out your brain, because when you clean up your house, you clean up your brain at the same time. And then you go through your stuff like an inventory. What do I have? What do I have to work with physically and mentally? What do I have, and psychologically, what do I have right now going that makes it possible for me to move from A to B and C and D and so on? Okay, so in increments, you can't skip steps in this process, because life is a learning process. The whole life situation is an entire learning process, and we just keep on learning and learning and learning, and we make mistakes and we have setbacks. We get back up as the phoenix from the ashes, as my mother always says, and then you learn and you come out stronger and more knowledgeable and more healthy and more expanded and in every way. And then you keep on going. Don't experiment too wildly, but go out there and do it. Clean up your house, those kind of things. Learn to cook learn to prepare meals, learn to eat well, vegan, whole food vegan, not junk vegan. Okay, there are people who have died from junk vegan. People have died from junk food in general. They don't mention that. So more people have died from junk meat food than they have died from junk vegan food. But if you eat junk vegan food, that's basically the same. It just doesn't contain the animal products. Junk food, no. It's like a red bar across, okay? No junk. No depleted food. No, as Dr. Scholl's calls it, merchandise, not even food. So you want to eat whole food. Whole food, that's the most important thing for your health, okay? And whole food and no animal product. So whole vegan is the key to health, the key to intelligence, the key to decluttering your brain and your entire body in your colon. That's where all the health problems begin, when the colon is congested. Read Dr. Scholl's book, 20 Steps to Holistic Health. It's very important. I cannot emphasize this enough. Clean out your house and stop spending money on ridiculous things, and start saving money and keeping it for the things that you do need, the very important things. Okay, you guys take care. Bye bye.